people.
That's a group of people that, number one,
What's the
could
maximum
be
amount of
contributing
people
and
that can
they're
be in a
not,
watch
because now they
group?
feel like you don't care anymore. And number two, that's a group of people that might find another way to hurt you more maliciously behind the scenes because what they're doing isn't working. So let's find another way to screw him, behind the scenes that's not on his live stream.
Yeah, that's good to hear because I told people
private viewing.
first when I said we were
What does he mean private viewing?
talking about it, blah blah blah. I said no. When I talked to him,
I don't remember
private,
how to do full screen on the watch.
He understood. He's like, look, we can talk about the shit where I fucked up. We can talk about some of the funny stuff. I don't want to talk about personal finances, by the way, which is fine. I don't want to talk about exes, which is also, by the way, fine. And it's one thing where there are guys that have been out there. I've been out there more than 10 years too, but under several different channels, and there have been guys out there. I don't know if you put yourself in the same category with them, but as a layman,
or can you just
there have been people
put it on my channel? Just put it on the docs for doing.
Large group of detractors, and they still have, it's when it starts out great. Like
1, 2, 3.
When I started my YouTube channel,
what the fuck? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
99%
6 people just
on every video I did.
Right.
But over
is that because you went live?
You piss a few people off.
You not see like
your
7
most loyal
people
fans
just
are the ones
join.
that turn into the ones that really hate you most.
In the watch.
And,
yeah.
So
Yeah.
then, okay, it went from
What the
10,
hell?
If I had 10,
Are you
like,
this
kind of
famous?
What's up?
I don't
Now, if I have like,
Oh no,
100,
the thumbnail's
now
how
I'm
like a wolf David is doing.
I definitely feel like I understand where that's at.
We
I
are
get a guy like you and a guy like Wings,
in watch
and where both of you have been on long enough, where you have
link
long,
above
kind
and
of,
in
or you have, I'm sorry, solid group of haters, but you also have a solid group of you're still your fans, and where Wings, I don't know, he probably has it worse than you, where like, but he still reacts like old Phil used to react. If I could talk to DSP, I would say, dude, you gotta lean into the meme, because eventually it's not gonna be as fun to make fun of you, because you're like, yeah,
what happened? Is it because
whatever, this happened?
you put it in Dark Days? I think. We inherited most of.
How do you see? He talks about
good shit, brother.
Did you pause it?
Oh, they're all leaving. No, I didn't pause it.
Now, there's a recent stream where he was like, basically like, look, I gotta turn my haters into.
I love how you can see all this shit in the background.
I've got to convert, because these are the people that are coming in. He's got several channels that basically are 100% dedicated to making montage, and you've got a few of them too.
Oh,
so, how do you approach that type of content now? What do you think of these dedicated channels that are basically just memeing on you?
Holy shit.
See, here's the thing. Again, I'm different now than I used to be. When I was a full-time YouTuber, I was like really
Dark
pissed
Dave
off about it. And I would call these channels out. They're stealing my content.
So you inherited all of Dark Dave's
I appreciate it.
I don't mind that they exist as long as what they do is...
boy.
I don't care if you take a shot at me. I don't care if you make fun of me. I don't care if you call me a lol cow. I don't care what the frick you call me. But don't try to actually like hurt myself or my livelihood or my family. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because sadly, there's people who do take it that far, and I hate to say it, but the people who make those channels don't realize that what they're doing is kind of putting the ammo into a group of people who aren't like them. Those guys, they're doing it for laughs. They're doing it to make fun of me and to make some popularity, get popularity on my expense, right?
Yeah.
They're not laughing with me. They're laughing at me, but they get a rise. They make some money doing it. Whatever. It's fine. I don't care about that. What I care about is now the person who watches all their content comes after me and my family personally, which has happened many times.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm worried about. Like, I don't care if someone makes a video, this is how you don't play, here's a montage of Phil sucking at Dark Souls. Big deal. But you make a video that says, Phil is 100% a scammer, and he regularly, every day, he steals money from his viewers by lying to them constantly. And he's a really dishonest, disgusting person, and he really shouldn't exist. You're going to get people who are going to, like, in their head, not understand that that's a video to make fun of me. They think this is a call to action. And now they think that they have to do everything they possibly can to hurt someone like me or someone like me. some of the stuff that's happened, you know, you wouldn't even believe some of the stuff that people
Well,
tried to do.
I've had
behind
it
the
all
scenes.
too. I've had swattings. I've had to deal with a lot of that bullshit too. People calling my fucking mom, who doesn't even know how to use Facebook or whatever.
Right.
You know, people called my mother-in-law and like told her that I was a neo-Nazi. And she's like, "What? No, like he hangs out with black dudes. I know that." Yeah, like.
Oh, he's
but,
using the Dave
so
excuse.
I've had
nice.
issues like that too, but
He's not racist.
you know,
He
Is
has
he?
black
as
friends.
you probably
I feel
are
like he's
aware,
low key doing this because he.
you know, and I said I wouldn't ask.
I
Any
swear
questions
he did a
specifically,
ball
but
crunch
that is
like
the biggest
deliberately,
issue
and now he's
with your
just dropped that
detractors
in
is the
again.
money,
So he's
right?
like,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
low-key
I would
doing
think
this.
so. Now, the thing is, you can't really get a straight answer because
Yeah.
depending on who you ask, the way that it works with my detractors, I don't know about Wings and everybody else because I stay out of everyone else's business. I really do. I don't know anything about what's going on with these other guys. But with me, it's called moving the goalpost, meaning their issue with me today is money. So. Okay, so something happens and okay, that's an issue. But then when that's not an issue anymore, the next thing is the issue. Because originally it wasn't about money. When I started on YouTube, I was making tons of money. I didn't need money. I wasn't asking for donations. I wasn't asking for people to hit me on streams or do any of this stuff. I was rolling in ad revenue, so I didn't need to ask. Back then it was, Phil's a cocky asshole. He doesn't take his playthrough seriously. He insults the game developer. So I changed my attitude. I'm not going to do that anymore. Oh well, now Phil did this and Phil did, and that's the thing. Like, there's always a new thing that they seem to now bring up as the thing that they hate me for. I would say initially they'll tell you it's money, but then if you kind of debunk what they're talking about, oh, that didn't really happen. Here's what really happened. Oh, well, didn't you also know that Phil did this and this and this and this and this and this and this?
Yeah.
You know
what the big one that came up with the most was.
Well, I'm capturing the
this
whole screen
cat
too,
thing.
Dark Dave.
Do you know what that's about?
Oh yeah.
People said, here's how it was told to me. That like he had an X goal for money and then to reveal something and then it was
which one? Where's Dark Dave talking?
What was that even about? Was that how long ago was that?
That was a few months ago. 2 months ago.
What, on your
3 months ago.
Yeah.
It was fairly recently.
Okay.
Yeah, it was. That's probably why they're all talking about it because it just happened a few months ago.
Oh, okay.
But no, I had a stream where I told everyone it was a special event, a marathon style stream that I was going to be playing a certain amount of games, certain type of game. It was a kind of a gimmick event. Because I needed to raise funds. I was in a bad financial position. I had a bunch of things coming up that I needed to pay, and I looked at it. I know I can't do it. Now I know my fans will support me if I ask for it. So I said I'm going to do a special marathon stream to raise tips. And if I hit a certain level, a goal level of what I like to raise during that day, I'm going to give you guys a positive reveal as a way to say thank you. And this is something that could maybe even affect positively my streams in the future or my content. We'll see. But that's how I spun it.
It's paused again.
It's a life-changing event. I'm promising you guys the world that there's going to be some crazy thing if we raise a certain amount of money. And I never even told anyone what the amount of money was.
Okay.
Is it a user doing that?
Or anything. It was just all. In fact, that morning, I just out of my head pulled a random number out of my head, never expecting that I would reach it, and the number was $1,000. Okay, I was like, I'll never reach this on one stream. I'll never do this. Right? That's
like
crazy.
that.
You're doing it again.
What the hell? I'll just I'll pull it out of the sky. I'll put it up as a goal. Maybe it'll motivate people. If I had got a couple $100, I would have been thrilled, right?
Yeah.
So I do the stream, and it's about 3/4 through the stream, and it's almost over. And I'm like, well, guys, just so you know, here we are. The stream's almost over. There's the goal. Here's where we are. And people were like, well, are you still going to reveal the thing at the end of the stream? I was like, I don't know. We'll see. And the truth of the matter is, I was going to do it anyway.
So his Minecraft streams when you go...
I was going to do it anyway. But
his Minecraft streams where he's like, okay, I'm going now. Last chance
if you can believe it, we hit the goal.
Last chance. I'm now just, okay, guys, I'm going to go in a minute. Last chance.
All right, this is amazing. Stop
I'm going now,
stop
guys.
playing games. I just want to introduce you to my pet cat, who has lived with me for a while now, and I actually have completely kept him under wraps because, as I told you, I have such this weird cloud of haters that they just they try to fuck with my private life, and I knew that anything that I reveal about my private life, they make it a negative, no matter what. So I'd actually kept my cat private and not let anyone know about it for a long time. It was a secret. I never let him in my office. The funny thing is he has a bell around his neck. Damned if I know how they didn't hear it in the hallway, like ringing behind the door or whatever, but they never did.
Because you snore every 5 seconds. Anything in the background. Don't even hear cat in the background. I'm still convinced she doesn't live there. But you don't hear a door open, you don't hear a kettle going off, you don't hear like anything.
And the thing is, there were two groups of people. My fans, my actual fans, were super happy. They were like, that's the cutest cat ever. This is a cool reveal. This is something that Phil never does. Reveals part of his personal life. He hasn't done this in such a long time. This is really actually cool. This is cooler than what we thought it was going to be. Some people thought it was going to be, oh, I'm announcing I'm adding anything to stream or something. But to see this, you can the cat now.
Play video games, you watch
to my office whenever it wants now. I leave the door open. So if he wants to join me on a stream, he'll come in. It was funny. Tonight I'm playing Street Fighter and he's like messing with my hand when I'm trying to do moves and stuff. You know, it's a funny, silly thing.
They the shit out of that.
But the thing that gets me is, there's the other group of people. Oh my God, that's it? So Phil charged $1,000 to see his cat? Oh my God, I can't, what a dishonest scammer. He said this was going to be something amazing and he was going to really contribute to the streams, and this is a bullshit. And that's how they spin it. Now, on top of all that, what ended up happening in the next 20 minutes was crazy. So I'm playing with my cat and everything.
There's no point quartering being
longtime fan
here.
of mine came
This
out
is how DSP talks to his own camera.
This is amazing, and he gave me another $1,000.
Whoa.
Like,
yeah,
where is
I've
the
never
interview?
had a
Where
donation
is the
that big.
fucking? You just let him Phil talk.
Crazy.
Where is the?
It was nuts. I was like, I
Why
wasn't
are you
expecting that. That's
asking him
crazy,
about
right? I'm
fucking-
super happy now, obviously. But then again, so now the new conspiracy is this whole thing was planned. Phil already had someone lined up to give him the $1,000 behind the scenes. So the whole thing was a scam to get his other fans to give him money too. You know, this is what I mean. This is what these people do. They think these crazy conspiracy theories up.
Okay.
And they spin them into fact. And you mentioned these channels that just detract on me constantly. They all had their own weird story about the cat story that Phil scammed his viewers not out of $1,000 but $2,000. About the cat story that Phil scammed his viewers not out of $1,000 but $2,000 somehow.
Okay. Yeah.
And it was all a plan behind. It was some malicious plan behind the scenes. It's like, but if you were there and you were live for the event, you would realize none of that happened. It was actually a very positive, fun stream. People were having fun with games. They were contributing slowly, and then all of a sudden they realized, oh man, he didn't hit the goal. Let's help Phil out. And at the last minute, everyone kind of rallied. We hit the goal. It was amazing. Okay, here's my cat. You know, not really a big deal. It wasn't like I was publishing this for months that this was going to be a crazy, life-changing reveal for everyone. It was just something as a reward, a little positive thing at the end of the stream if we hit the goal.
Okay,
and like I said, I was definitely going to show the cat anyway. I wasn't going to like hold it back as a secret. I was eventually going to show the cat, but people just want to make shit up. And that's the thing. That's the hot new thing. That Phil's a scammer. His $2,000 cat.
Well, yeah, I mean, so I really don't watch those. There's a couple of YouTube channels that I watch that will occasionally meme on you a little bit, but I don't watch some of these.
Gundam?
I mean, I definitely have. I watch some of the Wings channels because they're fucking hilarious. Wings is just a different dude. Like, he hasn't figured out how to lean into it yet, and he's still, you know.
What?
But
What do you
the funny
What
thing
is
was
this?
that was a really big deal. And look, looking back at it, do you think maybe that like I do with thumbnails all the time? Like, I think the title's okay, or I think, like you say, hey, look, I just thought I was gonna do something, you know, important. But sometimes it's hard to judge, like, how your viewers, or in your case, also your strong.
It's actually weird to
detractors
see someone
view
look
something like
uglier
that.
than
You know,
DSP
they're
because the
probably
quartering.
like, oh,
Let's
Phil's
be
got a
honest.
kid on the way.
Let's be honest.
Or something like that.
That is ugly.
And sometimes you can't avoid
Like,
the way people
At least
react to your
Phil's
thumbnails.
beard
That's how I
area
view
has
it.
some kind
The
of
titles,
like.
so maybe that
thing.
was a case of where, like,
But
oh
this-
shit, maybe I should
This
have had like a
fucking
more
like
normal
castaway
title kind of
thing he's got going on.
The thing is, you're right. Like,
Not good.
how do you say that? Because essentially, I didn't want to spoil. And it's
Yeah.
like, oh, it's a minor, or it's kind of a
saw
middle level thing.
some of
People were
it
guessing, of
briefly
course,
when
the
I
whole
came.
time. They were guessing, is it a pet? Is this this or that? I can't give them a hint. And the problem is, when you don't give a hint, now they naturally build it up to be bigger than what it's
was that
supposed to be.
hand
Right?
gesture?
They're
Right.
building
You
their
can't
own
control it.
expectations up, and I can't do anything about that. Now, the funny fact about the whole thing is, every single person who
I
contributed
do
that
not
day
talk.
liked it. Every person who
Like
contributed
when
on
I
that
talk
stream
to
was
you
happy.
or
I never
anyone,
got a single person who came to me and said,
like,
Phil, I feel like the
my hands
contribution
are
I gave you
not
was
acting out
dishonest.
this,
It's because
like,
you told us one thing and it was another.
this is
And the thing is, that's what
extreme.
always happens when I have to do fundraising or whatever. The people are
Right,
happy.
I've actually
the people
never
who
really
actually
noticed
contribute
how
aren't
much
the
he's
people with
doing.
the issue. It's the people who
Like,
criticize me, the
I'm
people
actually
who do
acting out
full-time
what he's
detraction on
doing,
me
and it's
that
really
always have the issue.
uncomfortable
It's
to
never the
have
people
my,
who are
like,
positively contributing. It's the people
you
on the
have to have
outside
strong
watching
not to-
that
come
seem
on.
to have the issue. So who really got scammed Was it the viewer who contributed and was happy with the result, or was it the person who blew up the expectation to be something it wasn't? And now now we can use this as more fuel for more videos for our channels, and that's essentially what it turned into.
Okay. Let me ask you a non-drama related. Let's get back on like an interesting. This was an interesting one.
I know. I was very happy with it.
I do appreciate it, by the way. I'm gonna keep to the time.
I didn't spend money, and I felt cheated.
You've already been very generous with your time. So
I can go, just so you know, I can go till about. Honestly, I could probably go till about 11 p.m. my time, so I could go like another 40 minutes if you wanted. I'm good.
Yeah. Well, Let's see how you keep. Talk to me in 20 minutes. See how you feel.
Is that when WWE starts?
You know, while I actually I should ask you about the arcade one-up machines
when
too.
the gym
I'm gonna get your opinion on those in a minute because I just bought a bunch of them. Are you familiar with those?
I've seen them in the stores. Yeah, I saw that they're like smaller versions of arcade.
Oh, the buffer is real.
I've seen them in the stores. Yeah, I saw that they're like smaller versions of arcade cabinets and various games you could get on them. I've seen them. Yeah.
They had a Street Fighter 2 one that I bought today, a Mortal Kombat one that I bought. They come with a riser, so they're like more like a normal height, but they're still not the same as they were.
Yeah, they're small.
Old heads
so
like
are these two going to be best friends now? Are they going to play?
That,
they should.
Are they going to play fucking games together?
Yeah.
Killer Instinct. I remember that. Like, anyway, one person asked this: while playing fighting games, why do you hold your controller like you're playing an arcade game? Does it help somehow?
Is that a question? You're interviewing DSP, and you're asking him how he holds his controller.
I can bring a controller over here to show you what I think they mean. Hold on a second.
Yeah,
I think what they mean is, so there's two ways to hold a controller. The natural way to hold a controller is to use your thumbs, and then you use your fingers on the shoulder buttons. But when I play fighting games on a controller, I actually go like this.
Why do 400 people like this video?
And the reason is I find that especially for fighting games, a lot of the button inputs are multiple button inputs, and trying to push two buttons with the thumb, especially, can be very unreliable. Maybe you hit one but not the other. So when I do like this, I seem to be able to simultaneously hit the buttons. And the reason is because I grew up on arcades. I actually used to be a competitive Street Fighter player. And I used to play on American-style controls where the buttons were face buttons on the arcade. You couldn't hit those with your thumb. They were too big. You had to use your individual fingers to hit the buttons top down. And that's how when I play fighting games, a lot of the times, especially Mortal Kombat and stuff like that, I'm pressing the buttons
800 likes, 130 dislikes. I'm quite surprised.
At least that's very difficult from my perspective.
How many subs is the courting though? Does he 600,000? And I guess they kind of like him.
Have you seen Neo Geo has a new mini where it's basically like the old Neo Geo? Because if you played old arcade games like I did, a lot of those were just basically Neo Geo cards.
Same hardware.
Yeah, same hardware, just a different input. So now they have like a mini that has the full arcade style controller. Any interest in playing on that?
Absolutely, yeah, that's cool. Right now, I'm playing the Genesis Mini, and I'm really enjoying it.
I love it. They did the best. They did better than anyone else. Better than
I'm really enjoying the free Genesis Mini that I got gifted to me.
It's just so good. There's music designed just for it, and it's all your favorite games plus some additions that are new. It's really sweet, and it's such a variety too. You can just do a stream and play 7-8 different games on a stream and have so much fun. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, Earthworm Jim, classic.
Yeah,
classic.
I'm friends with the creator of that guy too.
Oh wow,
he's got a new comic, Earthworm Jim comic that's coming out and stuff like that. And then the guy from Tommy from Intellivision, which is the company that now they own Earthworm Jim. They also have the original way back. You and I will remember Intellivision, but they have a new retro console coming out. That's kind of like the Genesis Mini or whatever, but it'll have Intellivision games. But it'll also have a brand new Earthworm Jim game on it, which will be exclusive to that too. So that's kind of a fun scene. Somebody asked this question. I don't know if there's a legitimate answer. If there's not, we can skip it.
Yeah,
but do you have a favorite titty mod for Skyrim?
Mike
oh my god, no, I've never played any mod. I played Skyrim on PC back in the day when it first came out, before the mods even hit. And when that game came out on PC, it was so buggy. It was like so many issues with the game.
Yeah, for many years almost, it was.
Half the dragons wouldn't render for me. They looked like these gooey purple Barney monsters. It was like really messed up. But no, I've never played any mods. I'm not a PC gamer, I'm mostly console. Like 95% of the games I play are usually on console. So no, I don't have a legit answer because I never done any mods.
No, that's a fair answer though.
of the games I play are usually on console. So no, I don't have a legit answer because I never done any mods.
No,
for
that's
Skyrim.
fair. That's a fair answer though.
And I can't
I've
look
never
at
been a
tits in
mod
video
guy
games.
myself.
I have a girlfriend.
But I know there are titty mods for that game. So I was like, I didn't know. I was like, hey, maybe Phil plays it on stream.
Now.
I don't know.
I don't need to get my jollies
so
off.
A lot of questions
anime
pertain
tits.
to.
I have a wife.
This
I'm not
documentary,
carb, I don't need the extra
which you
thick
probably
sliders.
know. I don't know if you ever watched it, but I'm not going to ask any
No one's
specifics
come.
from it. But I'm only going to ask if you watched it. And it's this down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, no, I've never seen it. I've never seen the thing. I've
You've
heard
never
about it.
seen
I've seen
so you've
snippets of
chosen
it,
not to
but
watch
I've never
it.
just
It's
sat
got
down and watched it.
2.5
And
million views.
I basically I know that these things exist out there about me, and I know that some of them are fair and some of them are completely unfair. I've heard this is one of the more fair ones.
I would say I've watched it twice. I watched it before our call today, and then I watched it like
you
when
don't
I
know
first
who
reached out.
So you
I
had to
didn't
watch
think-
that. This is
He
terrible.
outlays some
like,
of your early career, which
I
is
wish it was
probably
Gundam when
accurate.
he was like, "Hey Phil, why did you do this?
Talks about
why
your
did you
AdSense
do that?
bullshit, which
Why did
you
do
already,
this?" Gundam
basically
actually
said,
has
hey, this is what
charisma.
happened. That's
Yeah.
accurate.
Yeah. Yeah,
Some
this is
of your
like-
low life being a dickhead.
Obviously,
obviously
that was all the
ac-
time back then. Oh my
yeah,
God.
yeah.
I was
So-
such an asshole when I played Street
don't
Fighter
know if again,
competitively. I
Phil.
was a super dickhead. I admit that openly. I was just a
Yeah.
real asshole.
So yeah,
why is
so
it
I
a
mean,
surprise that
right? So
people
like,
hate
okay,
you?
so that's accurate.
Because you're not an arsehole anymore,
know,
people are supposed to just like you.
But this does shape
All your old
the way
content
a
is
lot
still
of
on
people
YouTube.
know who
So-
you are, right? Like a lot of people nowadays, where YouTube
It's like
couldn't give
No,
a
that's
fuck about
fucking-
creators like you or I nowadays, unless you're like Will Smith or some Hollywood actor. They might recommend. You actually used to have videos on the YouTube homepage back when they would put popular videos on the homepage. Now it's like, The Tonight Show and Saturday Night Live. And, so I think just to kind of complete the thought on the kind of the detractor videos, from the outside looking in, I view them mostly as a positive. And it sounds like you mentioned earlier, hey, basically, as long as they don't go, crazy over the line or try to fuck me over, they're still a good thing. Like they're still a thing that keeps me, interested in me going.
Yeah, to some
It's
extent,
going
because
exactly
it's
how
like
I
you and I just said.
expected it
We
to.
know this isn't going to last forever. What most YouTubers have a couple of years, 3, 4
I'm
years,
still
where maybe they can
surprised
stay
it's
on top, and then
happening.
that's it. It fizzles out.
Yeah.
But,
And for me,
when Phil
because
said at the
there's
start,
always a
well, you are one of
controversy
the only
about me,
people
which
who actually,
literally I half the time don't even
So,
know about.
I can't
You know,
understand why
it
you did
keeps
it.
people coming to watch.
Especially
I
while
don't
watching
mind
it.
as long
and seeing
as
what a
it's
complete
not
pussy
something
the
that's going
boring
to not allow me to
Asking
make a
him
living
how he
or
holds a
not allow me
controller.
to do what I love, or it's going to
Like,
hurt myself or my
and
family.
you are the
gifting
And the
first-
things that
is-
I
is
don't
this-
like is when people
Is this
lie.
the first time TSP's ever
Outright
done an
lie.
interview?
Well, there
Because
was
that does
this-
happen about me a lot.
No, he did
Yeah,
some
of all the
interviews on some
shitty
normie channels,
things
like people that had like
DSP has
fucking
done,
10 viewers,
and there are
shit.
many.
Really?
The only
Yeah. First
one
one in
I
a
ever
long
had a
time,
problem
isn't it?
with
Anyone, like,
was
remotely
the
big.
striking or
Yeah,
flagging
no,
other
he-
people's
He
videos,
turned
which
down
you've said in
Jim
this stream, like,
Keemstar,
yeah,
the
hey,
drunk
look, that was
podcast-
old
the drunk,
me.
what's it
Drunken
called? The drunk
Back in the
Pheasants.
day,
I didn't
there
like
was
that,
there was
you know.
no like back in the day, like way back in the day. We're talking again like 7 years ago.
Yeah.
There was like no way to do anything about that stuff besides ask nicely. Hey, I think the video you made is real mean about me. Could you take
Yeah.
it down or talk to me about it first? Get my permission? Because you basically used my content without permission. Maybe if you had asked first, I would have said okay. It's kind of messed up that you just did this without my permission.
Yeah.
Today it's the Wild West. Everyone uses everyone's
Don't
content for
thank you.
anything under
Yeah,
the sun.
yeah. Fair
you
use
know-
is this.
Oh,
Yeah, it's over now, right? I see
Right,
people
everyone
use
just
my
does
content
everything.
too. I'm like, whatever. Fuck, I can't do anything about it, even if I wanted to.
Right. But back then it was a relatively new thing, and I saw that it literally was those "this is how you don't play" videos took a negative light to my content in a way that had never happened before and made it virally popular, and I was terrified
Yeah.
because I didn't have anything to fall back on at the time, and I was like, what's going to happen if now people hate my guts overnight and I have no recourse? So admittedly, back in the day, there were a few people who I tried to like take down their videos. It was, by the way, I'll say this, it wasn't a lot. It was maybe a small handful over the course of a couple of years. In fact, a couple of times it was Machinima who did it, and I didn't even ask them to. They just went ahead and did it on my behalf, and I found out later, and then I got shit for it because people were saying that I'm telling Machinima to do stuff that I never told them to do. There's another issue that I have with Machinima behind the scenes, but
That sounds like you regret that, and you're not like that way anymore, though, which is the important thing.
There's no point to doing it. There's no point. It doesn't productively do anything to try to take down other people's videos. If anything, I just wish more people would understand and be more conscious that when you're going to make those kind of videos, that concretely can hurt someone. Because here's a personal example. Back in the day, I used to just say shit for shock value. I would say completely misinformed things. Like I would say anyone who plays Minecraft is a small child and an idiot, and why would anyone play Minecraft? They're all dumbasses, right? And people would actually like believe me because I had a big following back then. They were like, "No, that's true. Everyone who plays Minecraft is an immature idiot." I didn't know anything about Minecraft. I had never played it. I knew nothing about it. I was just talking out of my ass to get shock value out of my videos. Okay. And now I realize, my God, like I was so irresponsible. That's a messed up thing to do, right? And
you should have been playing Minecraft all these years. Look at fucking PewDiePie.
Exactly. Yeah. If I had jumped on those bandwagons back then, I would have been way bigger than I ever was. But I was a very obstinate, ignorant person who just thought this whole thing was kind of a joke. I never really took YouTube seriously back then, and I thought this is just messed up. I'll just say whatever I want, and people will laugh at it or whatever. Now I regret saying a lot of the things that I said and did back then. Some of the racial humor that was kind of way over the top. That I know I look back then, I'm like, there's generalities, and some of the stuff I said was kind of way too far in one direction.
It's a different time too, I mean, it was like 10 years ago. That's a perfect example. By the way, I'm gonna bring up a question that I think anybody else asking it would bother you, but I will tell you first. I have gout. I understand how bad it fucking hurts. I get it in my big toe of my foot, and there is nothing, and I mean nothing, that takes the pain away.
That's right.
So, and you mentioned the kind of so essentially this whole cancellation thing was basically, Phil did these ching chong bing bong jokes, and whatever. I'm not one of those people that's offended by them. You can find them unfunny, fine, but I'm not gonna put any stock in the fact that you're offended by it. Fuck off. But especially when it was years ago.
Like
Stephen Colbert had a whole character named Ching Chong Ding Dong or something like that, and nobody said anything about that. So, this funniest cancellation thing was the you don't joke about my gout, but also Ching Chong Bing Bong. That was basically, the Daily Dots article, right? And then DeSerto basically wrote the same article, like, well, Phil, look,
I'm a bit
that's
concerned
just not
about
the same.
Well, not concerned, because I don't give a shit.
I'm assuming you misspoke, like, whatever.
The way Phil's
but I do know
is like
gout fucking hurts.
Oh, they're talking about gout.
I hate it so badly, and it sucks. Oh, gout fucking hurts, and I hate it. I hate it so badly.
Bullshit.
And it sucks. And for me, it's if I kind of manage everything, it's relatively self-inflicted. If I get a flare up, sometimes though, I take alpurinol, which is like
cherry
what
juice.
A fucking interview this is.
So I always thought that was funny. I felt like a kindred spirit when I was reading these articles. Like, oh, he's upset that people are giving him shit about gout. Like, okay, probably not the best thing to use as a shield for Ching Chong Bing Bong, though.
No, see, that's the thing. They'll take something that first of all, it wasn't even like I was on a stream and I was, let's have a serious conversation. It was like a pre-stream where people were like filing into my stream and I was giving like a little interim talk before I start with my gameplay for the day. A lot of the times I'm shooting the shit. I'm just joking around or I'm just messing around. And someone will ask me like a super question. They're really trying to start something. You know what I mean? Like they're purposely trying to get a rise.
When it's a bait
incite
question.
Something. And
so
the question comes in and it was like, how do you justify that? Well, how do you complain when people make fun of your own personal issues like your gout? Yeah. How do you say that's not right? But then you could make a racial joke, like you just said, a generalized racial joke, and that's okay. 2-minute thing out of 4+ hour stream.
That's fun, like 4. Stream. Yeah, it was like 4 or 5 articles that wrote about that.
Yeah, I don't know really. Someone had to say something. It had to be a slow news day. and they had nothing to write about, and someone sent them something. Oh, here's a clip of a streamer or whatever.
Yeah.
And but you know, no, obviously, if you would allow me to take a minute to actually clarify what I'm saying. There's a difference between generalized humor and a personal attack, okay? Generalized humor, making a generalized joke about a race, making a generalized joke about a gender, making a generalized joke about anything that's a category that's in general, is not directed at a singular person, right? So, yes, you could take it personally if you're a person of that group.
Absolutely.
And
look,
I
what is this?
situations where
Why
you go
are
to
you
the extreme
grasping
and it
your
is
tits?
too far.
What the fuck?
But I don't honestly feel besides maybe I can say one time ever that I
This
know
is
I went
like a
too
video
far, and
idea
I've
of all
apologized
his
for
body
personally over the years.
language,
This was something that
like,
happened in 2010, by the way.
You
So
could
we're
just
talking 9 years
screenshot
ago.
all these
And
fucking
people
things.
still bring it up to this day. But outside of that one instance, I don't ever feel like when I do generalized humor about a race or whatever that it's over the top insulting towards that race, and I
So
mean to like maliciously
Jewish
attack
thing
people
wasn't
of that race. It's
insulting,
more of a generalized
like,
observation, much like
exterminating
Chris
the
Rock
Jews
makes so
in a
many
Nazi
racial
accent
observations
was
in his
not
kind of comedy, right?
No,
And you know, if
that
I
was
do something like
offensive
that,
to Jews. That was just
most
generalized
of my audience gets it.
That was
There's always
Howard
a couple
comical
who don't.
racism.
In fact, I
It's not
realized
like
over
he's
the
a
years
Jew
not
or
to do it anymore because when I do those generalized racist jokes, I say racist, but you know what I mean. That's how they
I
categorize
know
it as
what you mean.
racist.
Yeah, I know what you
They-
mean.
People will get
Hey,
upset
Jackal,
no matter
how's it
what.
going,
In this
bud?
current climate, people just can't take that kind of joke anymore. 10 years ago when I
Hey,
started on
Jackal,
YouTube, people loved it.
Shoutouts,
In
bud.
2010, or was it 2009? I can't remember.
Hey,
I had
good to
a
see you,
top
man.
10 most racist moments of the year countdown on YouTube.
Yeah,
and it was my
restreaming it,
most,
but it's,
one of my
it's
most
a
viewed videos
fucking
of the
steaming
year.
turd.
It was all
Yeah,
racist
that
kind
it
of jokes
is.
that I made, things that other people said in my videos, you know, and it was popular. People loved it. Now, my God, you show them that video today, they'll try to crucify you.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
dude, that's
isn't that
like
funny?
this is
In 10
just
years,
like
it feels like
Swaggin's
100.
interviews DSP
Yeah.
People
or
have just
Kecken
gotten
interviews
totally-
DSP.
So if
like,
I'm understanding you, allow me to carefully
It's
tell me if I'm
nothing at
understanding
all.
They
you
would actually
correctly.
do a better job.
Look, you make
Sadly.
some
right
like,
at the end, he's
hey,
gonna
Asians
say
are bad
that.
at
Where did
driving,
you shoot the
haha.
load? And Phil's gonna
Like,
go.
there's no malicious intent
You
there.
silly man.
Or
That's gonna
also
be-
similarly, you could say, "Ha, gout, fucking malicious intent there." Or also similarly, you could say, "Ha, gout, fucking King's disease. Who the fuck gets gout anymore?" That's like a joke about gout. You would say that's okay. But
No,
don't say,
you can't
know,
joke
"Haha,
about
Phil,
gout
you
with Phil.
stupid
You can't
fuck,
say
you have
anything
gout."
about gout with
That kind
Phil.
of thing. Is that? Am
I
I
don't even
understanding
care.
right?
You're instantly
it's a fact
banned.
that I
Yeah,
have
no,
it, right?
and then
It's
you're
a fact
told
I
that
have
it's a
it. Yes, I
serious
don't always
medical
have it. It
condition.
like you know, it flares up, it goes
Yeah.
away. It's something I'll have to do for the rest of my life, and it's a diet thing
Talk
and
about
a
it, you
medication
inherited
thing, and it is what it is. But
He's
when
not
people
gonna
come to my
talk
stream and say,
about
"Haha, you have gout,"
Okay,
I
first
thought
of all,
your dead aunt
okay,
gave it to you
what's
and
your
didn't
point?
tell you
This is
about
a
it. But
gameplay
like
stream. What the
AIDS.
hell?
She slipped it
Okay,
in without
it's
telling
not
you.
funny. It's not topical.
put
It's
in
just
his
completely
banana.
derailing the stream. What are you even talking about? Why are you bringing that up? It kind of it's jarring.
Help
What the hell are
banana.
you even saying that for?
Fucking-
But then you get the person, ha, you fat mother effer, you waste of life, you stupid
Yeah.
alcoholic piece of crap. You have it because you're a disgusting individual. Well, obviously they just broke every possible rule
Yeah.
that you should have on a stream, and they're going to get moderated for it, right?
Is that what
and that's
gets
what I
you?
mean.
Is that what gets you the booze?
What do
For
you mean
me,
you
it's
might wanna
if I
phase
drink
when you
too
speak?
I
many
can
days,
understand
kind
that.
of
You might
in
want to
rapid
phase when you
succession,
speak.
and
Pause.
if I eat like greasy
Oh.
How does he mean
that's
pause?
what gets me.
Yeah,
I-
probably.
You know, I know there's lots of different. You know, that you get like a list. You know, and it's like, oh, you shouldn't eat.
Don't want to pause for
Tuesday.
everyone though, because
Yeah, 'cause we're gonna
we
watch
do the
together.
Use food list. For me, if I go out on a Thursday, Friday, Saturday,
We're doing
and I
it
eat,
raw,
like, shit over
Jackal.
the
We're doing
weekend,
it
Yeah.
raw,
gets me.
unedited
Every time.
I want to get
content.
through this as
2
fast as possible.
For
too.
me, it's the red meat. Like,
Yeah.
I used to
Yeah.
eat
Don't
tons
do
of red
fucking
meat.
3
I used to
hours
eat
long.
steak. I would have burgers.
Doing
I
it
would have,
the
every
SOK
moment,
way.
lunch meat. I loved red
Burgers.
meat, and I would drink. I used to
Yeah.
drink way more back
Were
in the
you
day.
like a wine
whoa.
guy or
No, I was like rum. At one point, I was really heavily into rum, and then it was like gin and mixed drinks, not
Yeah,
not
yeah, me
shots,
too.
but like
That's
mixed
how I'm
drinks,
too.
stuff like
Mixed
that.
drinks.
One point
Yeah,
out.
yeah, gin and tonic is a super mixed drink.
Not having any kind of responsibility, or just eat red meat 5 days in a row. Drink, drink whatever I wanted. I'm a fucking YouTuber. I just gotta film videos tomorrow. Who cares if I got a hangover when I play video games, right? Who gives a crap?
Yeah.
That's how my attitude was when I first started this whole thing 10 years ago.
Pretty sure it
And
still is.
it caught up with me about, I think it was 2015. It caught up with me in 2015, where I got it
How old were you
bad
then? About
all of
30?
a sudden. At that point, I was 33.
Yeah, that's about when it hit for me. To be honest with you, like you're not.
Oh fuck! I just noticed
I
the
don't think
quartering
you're
has the
fat.
same
Like
headphones.
I'm a
as
big
me.
guy, And
it
didn't. I never had a
Not
problem.
the exact
I was
same
probably
brand.
Yeah, no,
33,
the exact
34.
Fucking
Then one day I woke up and I couldn't walk. And
out of nowhere.
yeah.
What did I do? Did I break my foot? What did I do?
If
You don't
take
take gout. You're like, I sprained my ankle. I broke the bone. What the hell did I do?
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. That was kind of the running joke around my family, even with me, like, gout. What the fuck? You know, and I'm like, hey. Imagine having broken
really
glass
for me.
in your joint,
Yep.
you know, and then
having
having it always be there. Where my big toe is like swollen up to like 3 times the size, you know,
Right.
And people around me eventually understood, like, okay, well, we're not going to give them shit about it because we know, like, it's brutally painful.
It's debilitating. It's to the point where your life has to change for 2 weeks until it goes away.
It's like
so
losing
bad.
a foot, bro.
People want to
You'll
make
never
fun of
be
you.
the same.
And like, dude, I'm sitting on a stream
Have you seen The
pretending my foot
Office
doesn't
where
hurt.
Michael burns
So I
his
can make
foot
money
on
today
the George
I'm
Foreman
trying to put on
grill?
a happy face for the stream,
And
but
he
I've
acts
got
like he's
daggers
fucking
in my foot.
paralyzed.
And people want to make fun
Do
of
you
me.
get it?
Stop
Do you
moving
get it
your
in your
fucking
foot
camera
too? Is that where you
Oh,
get
yeah.
it?
Yep,
Okay.
foot. Same thing as you, big toe, because that's the most common place.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah, because I've read about, like, there's sometimes people getting their elbows, sometimes people getting whatever, you know. For me, it's always big toe, and yeah, no walking, no amount of elevation matters. You know, like no sock on foot out, and just ride it out. And you know, if you go have a good doctor, you get some pain meds, but otherwise, you know, just
wait,
like,
pain meds for your gout?
Can't do anything.
Fuck you.
So let me ask you,
yeah, bro, give me some fucking Vicodin for my fucking gouty toe.
Seattle now?
Thank you.
Yeah, I live just outside of Seattle.
Yeah. Somebody asked this question. It's more specific. I got a bunch of questions. Probably seem like some of your fans too, so maybe this is, like, said,
why is his camera blinking like that? It's so unprofessional.
And look, if these are like secret control questions, I literally don't know. You know.
Oh yeah, no, you didn't go to detractors and ask them for questions. No.
Experience more outside of his new home. Does TSP feel like he accomplished any of this?
The reason they're asking that question is because they know that because of my current financial situation, it's a financial situation question. They know I have to work 6 days a week full time, and I get 1 day a week off to spend with my wife, and that's it. I don't have time to go out and have friendships. I literally have to work my ass off to keep everything I have because I'm in a really bad financial position behind the scenes. So when they're asking that, they're taking a jab and saying, haha, Phil doesn't have friends. He doesn't have a life outside the streams.
All right. Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't know.
No, it's cool. I know you didn't know. It's fine. It's perfectly fine.
Okay. Yeah. Let me ask you, so if this is too specific, we can skip it totally. Like, this has been great. It's really informative for me this far. I hope you're having a good time. I'm having a good time.
Sure. Absolutely.
So one of the things so many people bring up
is fucking,
like, I'm not going to ask you anything specific, but as a content creator, I had to learn the hard way, just like you did. And I'm thinking that I'm thinking I understand the situation better than most of the detractors would. A lot of people bring up the taxes shit, and I try to explain to people what it's like getting big checks from YouTube or Twitch, and like learning to plan financially around that. My first 2 years, I was
no planning. What are you talking
making any money on YouTube. I had 1 year I had to pay in like $40,000, and I had nothing. Right, so I was like I had to extend my taxes to October, and I had like $5,000. I had to borrow money from my parents.
Idiots start businesses without realizing how
to do it. And then the next year, my accountant was like, hey, you should really be paying in every month. And I was like, I just borrowed all this money from my parents. I got to pay them back. Plus, I got to pay my life, pay my bills. I know I can't
Dave never
do
paid
that.
in fucking.
Look at his head.
And
Look
only
at his
recently
head.
did I end up in a situation where I can effectively plan around income and pay in every month.
What is up with
the
video quality of his hairline? Look, it's
is
all
that
blurry
kind of
and like,
describe why
it looks like it's
are
fucking fake.
tight the way they are, or am I not understanding? Because
it does look fake. It looks so
looks like
fake.
the max headroom shit. Like,
when I first saw that clip yesterday, I was like, "Is this fake?" Because is he just like Photoshop?
For me, it's okay. That's obviously that factors into it, but sadly for me, my story is it's a lot more complex. I can go into it,
What
and I guess you can make a judgment call
toy
on if this is something that people should hear or not. I guess.
All right, well, I'll write down the timestamp so I can go back and you can decide later if you want me to keep it. Go ahead.
So
is that
when I started
is that
on
the
YouTube,
one that
I was
used to be
making
on
ridiculous money
the
out of nowhere.
couch?
It was just insane the amount of money I was making. For 2 years, I
That's
made more
where they
money than I'll
go.
probably ever make
That's
in my
where they
life.
go to
Apparently,
retire.
yeah, because I see another
insane.
one
I couldn't
behind
believe
the
it.
pop filter.
And
Yeah,
then
there's
after that, the
another
bubble
one.
version,
Yeah.
the first
I
bubble
imagine
version
Potion's
came.
down there somewhere
And the money
as well.
went boom. I'm like,
Potion.
okay, I'm
Even
still
though he
making good
claimed that
money.
he got
Like
rid
even
of
with the
Potion or
dip,
something,
I'm still making crazy good money. And I took all that money that I made in
And
those
then,
years, and I
like,
saved a lot of it.
looks like
and
a
I used it to pay off
jellyfish
all my
above
previous
it
debts of my
on
life.
the
Like I had student
thing.
loans, I had all kinds of
Literally
shit. I
looks
paid
like
it
a
all off.
jellyfish.
So I was in the clear. Like essentially, all I had was a mortgage on a condo in Connecticut that I lived in, where I made all my content.
Above the rabbit, you've got the green,
by the way,
I think,
not
Xbox
a
games, and then the big white thing looks like a
Connecticut's
jellyfish.
expensive as shit.
Oh,
Connecticut is
I don't
very
know.
expensive. So even
I don't
a
think it is a
little place
jellyfish. Toy or
costs
anything.
over
It just looks like a
$100,000 in
jellyfish.
Connecticut. That's how crazy expensive everything is there.
Sure.
So I have this mortgage and no debt.
How long
At that
ago
point,
was
I was
this?
living. What's that?
How long ago was this? Early 2000s?
That was 2011, 2012, and to some extent
I
2013.
want to interview DSP. I want to do the interview exactly
so
like
much
this,
money
and then right at the end
that
go
I was like,
fucking
I
ham
gotta
on him.
get out of here. I hate living in Connecticut. I seriously got to get out of this state. The state extra tax on top of it, plus federal income tax, and prices are high. Everything's like insane. Why am I operating a business out of Connecticut when I'm a YouTuber? I could live in a million other places that are cheaper.
Yeah.
And
You know,
yet you
I've been
choose
there,
one.
So I looked at that
Because
point.
you're a big
I
brain,
looked at the whole
obviously.
country, and I was looking at different areas. Florida and Texas are both like ridiculously good for business, but the weather sucks.
Yeah.
So I didn't want
hot.
to live there.
You might like
Very
that.
hot.
Some people
humid,
like it.
hot. Yeah.
I live
So
in
for me-
Wisconsin. I don't like it, but
Fucking Wisconsin, this shit.
a lot of internet personalities live in Texas, I noticed.
Yeah, apparently like one of the best business
For
friendly
taxes.
states for taxes. It's like nothing. You get away with everything basically. You don't have to pay anything.
Not to mention housing costs.
So when I'm doing my
in, like,
research,
fucking Washington.
I'm doing all this research, and I find out about the state of Washington. They have no state income tax, but they, the taxes here are
The
decently.
sales tax are high, though, right?
Sales
Yeah,
tax, I
there's the
believe, is
fucking
around
B&O.
10%.
Yeah. It's
But
very
I was
high.
already paying
BO
7%
tax?
in Connecticut.
B&O, business,
And out here with no state income tax,
business and
it's way
something
bigger savings
tax.
because I'd rather spend money when
I
I
think it's
choose to
occupation or
spend
something.
than just have it taken away by default. You know what I
Sure.
mean?
Yeah,
So
it makes sense.
So out here, the weather I like better and everything. The houses out here way cheaper than in Connecticut. Like I could get a place 5 times bigger than what I had in Connecticut for the same price. That's how crazy it
Still
was.
not cheap.
So
You could've bought
eventually
even
in
more houses in
2014, I
Texas.
moved out here,
Yeah.
and I got this place is where I live now.
Where is
And
this
so
with
now
your YouTube timeline? This is you're on Twitch now at 2014, right?
Well, I had started doing direct capture in 2013 and streaming on Twitch, but I was not a full-time streamer. In fact, I never took streaming seriously at all until 2017 when the adpocalypse happened on YouTube.
Okay. Gotcha.
So I streamed, but I made no money doing it. It was a fan service for people who wanted to see me live. I was still 100% in on income I was getting from YouTube ad revenue. That was my way I was making a living.
Okay.
So I moved in 2014. And I'll be honest with you, my channel was starting to slow down. You could see it was getting a slow decline, but there was no like shocking warning signs that things were going to go horribly wrong.
Bro,
Within
what
1
about
year of me
planning
moving
when you
out
saw
here,
that there was
just to
a
give you some
decline
perspective
at
here,
all?
okay?
Holy shit.
I got swatted. I
that's scary.
had a ton of stuff happen behind the scenes to my family that I don't even want to talk about publicly because it's shocking.
They got old.
Okay. My channels were stricken down repeatedly with false copyright strikes because YouTube's program is such a piece of garbage. You can just impersonate whoever you want.
Yeah.
And it forced my channel to lose
Was that
millions
the
of
Bethesda
views.
bullshit? Was that where
No.
somebody like impersonated or Ubisoft or something?
No, that was the first time that ever happened was back in 2010, and that's why I created a new channel called DSP Gaming. Originally, I was just under Darkside Phil, and someone impersonated an Ubisoft employee and got Darkside Phil shut down, so I started DSP Gaming. Later, I got that cleared up.
Yeah.
But in 2015, people impersonated different gaming companies, and then they actually listen to this conspiracy.
God.
Okay,
Here we go.
they actually made fan art for me to use in my videos.
Oh,
and
I heard about this.
This was
Yeah,
Fred
they
Fred.
put it up on my forums in like January, February of 2015. Oh, Phil, here, use this fan art.
That's
They
brutal.
waited,
But I have
they
a
waited
legal
6 months
disclaimer.
for me to use the fan art in all these videos, and then they struck them all down on YouTube, saying that I'd
Yeah.
stolen it without permission.
That was brutal. That was
And
bad.
overnight, I had
laughing at
videos that
what
my
does
channel
it say on
lost
his
like around,
screen?
I think it was between 6 to 10 million views. And when that happens with a YouTube channel, YouTube essentially says that's a red flag. Something's really wrong with the channel that's losing 10 million views. It must have been that they were doing something underhanded or whatever. And immediately what the algorithm does, it kicks your channel from the search ratings. So overnight, my channel, DSP Gaming, that used to be one of the top channels always for gaming, became unheard of. And no one could find it on YouTube. People would search for my videos and couldn't find them on YouTube. And that was the first year during the fall gaming season when a bunch of new video games always come out, September, October, November, December. That's the money season. I would get a giant spike in views and a giant spike in money. My views went down.
Was he just doing a Roman salute?
I was like, you gotta be kidding me. And ever since then, it's been thing after thing. Wait till you hear the next one. So that was 2015. So I'm trying to recover from that. It's very hard because now I've got all this debt in my name. I've got 2 homes in my name, all this stuff going on. Then the next year,
you have 2
I find out my tax accountant from Connecticut
fault was it that you have
did my taxes wrong for
statues
several years.
You can't get rid of.
Yeah.
And
well, I know what it's like filing as an internet personality. Good luck finding an accountant that knows how to fucking do that. You know, like.
Well, this one was just laziness. This guy, when I moved out here to the state of Washington, told me, don't worry, even though I'm stationed in Connecticut, I can continue to do your taxes for you. I know what I'm doing. I'm a good guy. I know everything. So he did my taxes for 2014, 2015, 2016. I get a notice at the end of, well, it was during 2017. I get a notice from the state here. Oh, were you aware that, the Washington state, are you aware that there's business taxes here that you haven't paid for 3 or 4 years and now you owe us all this money in back taxes? I was like, what? I was told by my guy there's nothing. So I contact my guy. He's like, oh, I don't know, nothing. Don't talk to me no more. Basically, that was his approach. Like, I don't want to hear nothing because he was afraid I was going to sue him. So I had to find a new tax guy.
You said you were going to try and
so much money in the hole, and now my tax guy charges me so much money to fix this issue. We're talking tens of thousands of dollars, okay, out of nowhere. Money that I already had a decrease in income because of all that trolling activity and the false copyright strikes, and I'm just trying to recover from that, and then this happens on top of it. And since then, it's like seriously thing after thing, and I can't talk about all of it publicly because there's personal things that happen behind the scenes that I cannot disclose. But it's just like it's a shitty situation where like I'm stuck, and there's no way to fix it. There's no quick fix solution. I'm stuck with multiple properties. The one in Connecticut I can't get rid of because the property I owe way more on the mortgage than what it's worth. The property value actually dipped in the 10 years that I did.
People asked about the other property. So you're still stuck with that now?
I'm stuck with it.
Unload it?
I can't unload it. I tried short selling it. It got declined. They won't do it. I can't get rid of it. And essentially it's to the point where no matter what I do, I'm screwed. So I have to choose the lesser of 2 evils. Do I ruin my credit?
You know, my sister's in that same spot. Yeah.
You know, so I don't know what I'm going to do. And that's what the people constantly ask me, why are you always asking for money on streams? I don't want to. If you actually watch back in the day when I was on YouTube and I was making the big money before all this happened, I never asked for anything. I was happy. I just come make videos, put out the content. It was never about that. I don't want my streams to be about that. In fact, when I'm doing a live stream, the reason I do this lengthy pre-stream is because I want to get that bullshit out of the way so we can have fun with games. That's all I want to talk about is having fun with games. I don't want to have it to be I have to constantly be like, oh, by the way, reminder, guys, help me with the tip and do this and do that. Whatever. That's not the kind of guy I am, but that's what I've been forced to become over the years because of my financial situation behind the scenes. And people bring it up constantly that Phil's a shill and Phil's only about the money. It's like, but I did YouTube for 2.5 years and never made any money doing it because I loved doing it. Then when I was a full-time YouTuber for 6 years, I wasn't hassling people for money constantly. It was only until all of a sudden in the past 3.5 to 4 years that all these things compiled on top. These really, I mean, I know it's a ridiculous story. Like, so you're going to tell me, Phil, really we're supposed to believe that false copyright strikes made your channel die on YouTube, then your taxes were done wrong, then more stuff happened. Yeah, I know it's a crazy story, but that's my life at this point. And it sucks that that's the reality I live in, and I have to do like I'm doing an event coming up tomorrow where I'm hoping to raise some extra funds so that I can pay bills for this coming month, because if I don't, I'm going to be screwed. I will have overdrafts. I will have fees. People will be calling me, where's your money? Where's the money? And
it's giving
like
him
I said, it's come to the point in my personal life now where I have to make a decision. Like, what do I ruin? Who do I not pay? Or what decision do I make that's going to ruin my life?
No, I mean below.
No,
like where the lines are. It looks like DSP has breasts.
I can get this cleared up, and I can get a full-time job
I
outside of
can't
YouTube and
unsee
Twitch,
it now.
where I've got consistent income that's not reliant on things that can be screwed over for me, and then I can balance that with maybe streaming 2 hours a day, 5 times a week, and I have extra income from that, and I can wean myself off of being such a guy who's forced to be here 6 days a week full-time, because I am. I can't not. The day I don't stream is the day another bill doesn't get paid. And that's the situation I'm in, and people don't seem to understand that. They think I'm making it up. They think that my money is being put into some bank in the Cayman Islands, and I got a yacht somewhere. You know, there's crazy stuff that they say.
You don't strike me as somebody that lives lavishly.
The thing is, my house is nice. Like, this house here is pretty nice. And the reason that it's a nice house is because, like I said, in Washington, house prices are really cheap compared to what I came from in Connecticut. So I was able to get a house for a really reasonable price when I bought it. But you're right. Like, the stuff around me is old. Nothing. I've had this microphone for 4 years. You know, I haven't bought a backup hard drive to back up videos in 2 years because I can't afford to do it anymore.
Bro,
like,
you said you didn't care. You could just download it off YouTube.
And you're right.
It's
like, I used to be the guy when I made so much money on YouTube. Look at the new statue I frivolously bought today of a Marvel character.
Bro, you don't show
I can't afford that anymore. I can't do anything anymore. But people want to pretend like I'm still the Phil from back then, and like I'm pulling some scam every day, a new way to scam the viewers and make money, when in reality it's just a really messed up life situation I'm in, and I hope to one day get out of it.
Do you think, 2 questions. Did you ever think about making a new channel? Like, if that other one's been kind of... Because I have the quartering, and I have like Midwestly, and I even have a new third... I'm always creating new channels because I'm always afraid of what happened, basically, to your DSP gaming channel. Have you thought about trying that?
Vlogs, and does KO Gaming even exist anymore?
Okay.
He has his original Dark Side
I had a channel that was just for fighting games, but then I had to get rid of because Machinima screwed me over at one point.
Still got like
I won't
5
get into that.
channels.
Machinima doesn't even exist anymore, so who cares?
Yeah.
In 2016, I made a channel called KO Gaming, and this channel was exclusively to be not what I do on my streams, which is just raw gameplay, but this was where I was going to take the footage from the raw gameplay and edit it together into really, you know, high production value game reviews or countdown videos, the kind of stuff that you see on YouTube all the time that's really popular, that's not raw, it's edited stuff. And the channel took off. The channel, within 6 months, I had a video that had over 1 million views. I was making thousands of dollars on it. It was really good. Yeah. And then guess what happened?
I don't see him.
YouTube demonetized.
Ever on YouTube.
For no reason.
Like,
every video I started uploading got demonetized, and they wouldn't explain why. I would have to basically submit the dispute.
Yeah, the request.
It would take 4 days. They would fix it, but I'm working my ass off putting videos on YouTube, and I can't make any money on them. After 4 days, you can't make any money on a video anymore. It's already live.
I know that. Yeah, you get 80% of your views in the first 24 hours.
Someone sent me the timestamps for the video.
They fix it. So for me, it was like, there was 2 things that happened. That happened, and then also, of course, my detractors immediately knew that channel was me and started spamming the videos with downvotes and nasty comments. This is DSP, the person who we hate. Here's all the nasty stuff he's done over the years. How are you going to have a new audience of people come into a channel that looks like it's fresh and new, and it's exciting, and the first thing they see is disgusting stuff about, you know, defamatory stuff about me in the comments. They don't even care. They don't care about that. I just watch the video. It's actually pretty good, but they get bombarded with toxicity. So it was a combination of the 2 factors. Then in 2017, when the YouTube apocalypse hit, I was like, so not only are they going to demonetize every video on the channel, but then I can't make money anyway because they just have the amount of money to make on a video to begin with. Why am I going to focus on YouTube anymore? And that's when I decided enough is enough. I know I have enough of a supportive fan base. I'm taking my ass to Twitch, and I'm just going to do this full time, and I had enough of YouTube. And that's what my attitude.
And then Twitch fucking asked you to change your bitrate, and you fucking ran away.
I don't care. I'm not going to edit nothing. You know, I'm not going to put the hard time and effort into doing that kind of work that I did for a whole year there on KO Gaming just to have it destroyed because of a YouTube algorithm because they're lazy over there. So I'm not going to put up with it anymore. But I tried to diversify, and sadly, after a year, it didn't work out anymore.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I mean, I completely understand why you feel that way, and you're really more of a streamer anyway, since, you know, really gameplay videos, I think, evolved to streamers.
I just want to read this again. Dave,
Let's Plays were huge in 2010, but
I'm just going to read this to you again. I understand some people wanted some very specific money questions. I did the best I could to generalize and bring up all the topics you discussed.
Let me ask you.
I was, of course, limited as I couldn't gotcha him very much.
You've been great. I do appreciate
That's not how interviews work.
So
I did the best I could. Lots of gems in here, though, and I hope you enjoy it. Where's the gems? I haven't heard anything.
Kind of, when you say that you want to wean off YouTube and get into like something more stable, I understand that. I YouTube too. I don't stream, but we live by the same basic rules.
Right. Dude, you were streaming earlier. What are you talking about?
I work full time still.
Were you doing
and I tell my people
YouTube live stream where you were talking about some shit?
I'll never quit my job. You know, what was the last job that you even remember? What was the last thing you did?
Wings would actually talk to you. Though.
I
he
was working for a helicopter parts company based out of Connecticut. Yep. They were a subsidiary of a much larger company called Sikorsky Aircraft, which is a part of another big company called United Technologies. You might have heard of them because they make a ton of stuff. And this company essentially was the middleman between someone who owned a helicopter and
taxes
the companies who would repair helicopter parts. So if you owned and operated a helicopter, maybe you were an oil rig company and you need to fly your people back and forth to the oil rig. I was the guy who would take your call. I would listen to your problem. I would talk to my guys, my techs, figure out what's going on with your helicopter, place an order for a part for you, or I would get your part in that's broken and get it repaired for a reasonable price and get it back to you as soon as I could. So I did that for about 2.5 years. And then the job told me that they wanted me to expand and do more. So even though I was getting paid to do the job of a customer service rep, they trained me in what's called Achieving Competitive Excellence, or ACE, which is continuous improvement. What I would do is I would look at a part of a job and I would map out every step of the process. So for example, with a YouTuber, you would say, step 1, brainstorm the idea for the video. Step 2, record the video. Step 3, edit the video. Step 4, upload. And I would map out that process step by step and say, what step is the step that takes so long that you really should shorten this to save more money or make it more efficient? And I went for training for all of this, and I redesigned 2 entire processes within the company. So for 5 years, I worked for this company. For 2.5 years, I'm getting paid the job of like a line level customer service rep while I'm doing a job of someone who should be getting paid double. Yeah. Then the company completely screwed up and lost all this money and laid me off.
Of course.
Out of nowhere. So I never got paid for any of the work I did. Like all this, I was promised the world, oh, you're going to get promotions for doing all this extra work. I got laid off out of nowhere, blindsided. And thank God I was doing YouTube during that time as a hobby for about 2.5 years, and I had something to try to do to make a living because there was nothing else available in Connecticut in that job sector. I would have had to get a job that probably paid way less money, and I had just gotten a condo and all this debt in my name there for that job. I had actually gotten a condo. I purchased it. It was like 2 blocks away from the job to try to be able to go to work more quickly and everything. And they screw me over. I'm the guy they lay off. Right? So yeah, like I jumped right into YouTube after that. Luckily, it was a miracle because, like I said, I never expected that YouTube would be something I would make $1 doing.
Yeah. So
okay, even use OBS.
And if I'm being over presumptuous here, I apologize. But even so, like where my YouTube channel is now, somebody might look at it. When your channel was peaking, it was like 13 million views. That's where I'm at.
Right. And congratulations, dude, because that's great. I remember what it was like back then.
yeah. But you know, I've had plenty of cautionary tales before me, so I've been, I know. I mean, look, neither one of us are going to do this. Probably 5 years from now, we're both not doing this anymore.
At least not full time. No way.
Yeah. Right. What would be
in
your
5 years, motherfucker?
Dream job type, or like, it doesn't have to be a dream job. But the type of field you'd like to be in.
Didn't this dude get banned up by
for me, ultimately, my old plan when I was making the big money on YouTube was that I wanted to do that for maybe 5 to 7 years and save up enough money that I could open up a different kind of business, completely separate from the internet. A brick and mortar business.
I'm not laughing and saying like, oh wow, you got beat up by a girl or anything like that. But I'm like, why did you get in a fight
Who knows, right? I don't
with
know,
a transgender person? Why did you get in a situation where you were beaten up by a trans?
It was for something stupid
into something completely different, and the money I was making at that point looked like I would be able to save it up and do it. And then
he was like trying to bait the rail for tour, and he kept like, or Jim, and he wouldn't do an interview with Jim on his channel
outside of YouTube, and outside of Twitch. That would be something that I could say not only am I my own boss, which I am now, but now I could do something that maybe isn't so reliant on internet interactivity and so people messing with you constantly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You come to my stream and you mess with me, you get moderated or whatever, big deal. You come to a business and you start doing stuff in person, you're gonna get arrested.
So
right?
his teaser clip
There's
is like the fucking last clip of the video.
Or whatever, but it was at an online factor. Imagine if I had a restaurant and the trolls
yeah, it would be the best. You'd have
his spaghetti smells like his gout or something, you know.
Yeah,
it's just the dumbest shit. But that's what I mean. Like, that's what I always wanted to do, and it just sucks because right now that's the dream. The dream would be, let's say, in 5 years I could get myself to a better position. I could just do any kind of job to get myself stable, and eventually if I could save money to do it. But I don't know. At this point, like, you know, those days are kind of gone. You know, where I have those kind of aspirations. To me, I just want to have a day where I don't have to worry about what bill is not going to get paid or gets paid today, and you know, what call am I going to get that's my bank account bounced on this one, and that's just the life situation I'm in now. So,
well, yeah, I'd like to see you get to a point where, I really would, where you're making your monthly income tax payments and you don't
big ups, Jake.
Every year.
Welcome.
Right.
Because I could tell you as somebody who struggled to get there. Now that I'm there,
big ups.
Second
you watching this? You watching this shit, dude?
Life.
I'm nearly at the end, thank God, because I'm nearly falling asleep.
Less, but then you don't live in fear.
Right.
Yeah, I'm watching
it, but
April, you know, extend your taxes to October if you're like me, but.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
All right, last.
That's exactly what I thought it would be.
Finish on a funny
exactly
note.
fucking
I have
pussy
this
ass.
Is the most popular.
Oh, it's just terrible.
Okay.
I didn't expect for you to have a very.
Where did the load go?
Britishish accent.
Oh,
it's not expecting that.
No one does.
No one does. Don't worry.
Okay.
Everyone's American.
Yeah. Nothing complicated. Nothing crazy.
Yep.
Get a tissue. You know, I wasn't.
You're American or nothing.
I'm not dumb. You know, it's hilarious.
Like,
I get so many
fucking memology got
what
it the
were you
worst
watching
when
when
they
it
were like.
happened?
Oh, what were you watching? Will you share that?
I don't even know. Here's what I can, because here's how I
generic
Isn't me
I swear, and the thing is because you get a younger audience who are very immature, and they think it's some big production.
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah. Well, most of us know, by the way, you and I are both in our mid-30s.
I expected something like India.
We know how. We know how it goes. Yeah.
Right. It's just a thing. It's a frivolous thing. Get it over with, and then move on with your day. Right.
This is on my schedule. You know,
kids think that I apparently had aromatherapy candles in the background, and I was like rubbing body oils on my body and getting all
He's doing his tits again.
You did have aromatherapy
candles. If it was so.
It was so stupid. It was a frivolous, stupid thing. And you know, it's people. That's what they. Oh, he didn't even wash his hands because I had tissues. You know, what do you think I'm doing here? Like, you guys are freaking out of your minds with the stuff that they make up about this.
Bro,
but you know what? Out of all that,
wiping your hand off with the tissue is not.
I know I'll never live it down.
It's not washing it. Oh, it's clean now.
You got really lucky.
No, dude.
That's what I always say about it. I was like, man, he's lucky his dog wasn't on camera. Like,
right?
You got. I mean, as unlucky as you were to have the stream on, you were equally lucky that you didn't get a lifetime ban. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And it's a thing that people say, the people who spin it. Did you know that Darkside Phil is a chronic masturbator who does it in front of thousands of children?
Bro, literally
every man is a chronic masturbator. Chronic means doing it for a long time. Everyone's a chronic masturbator.
What kind of sentence is that? They think that this is like something that it really happened. The true story is it was early morning. The stream, I turn on my stream and I play music. Now I play music. Back then I just used to play like the PS4 dashboard thing while I run some promo ads over the screen. The show here, go buy something from my Teespring store, blah blah blah. And I was running it, and I accidentally had left my webcam on from the night before on the screen in the corner. I had no knowledge.
Obviously,
of it.
Yeah.
And it's an honest, innocent, stupid thing to happen. And I know I'll never live it down. But it's not a big deal to me. Like, it was. Is it embarrassing? Hell yeah. If anything, the one thing that's come out of it positive, if anyone asks me, what's the most embarrassing thing that ever happened to you, Phil? I don't have a hard time answering. I got right away. But outside of that, like, I was lucky. You're right. I'm always smart. You notice today my webcam. You don't see anything below the belt here.
Yeah.
It's always my upper torso.
What do you mean?
This is how I'm
Bro,
convinced.
we
I
see
knew
you
it was
wearing
exaggerated
thought
to be something so
shorts.
ludicrous. It's like, did you
Yeah,
actually even see what it was?
what is
It's just my
smart
O
about
face. That's
fucking
all
any
it
of
is.
it?
You don't see anything
Have you
else.
seen his
But people want to
couch?
make it out like it's the worst,
Have you
horrendously
seen the
disgusting thing ever.
stains on his
You watch
couch?
movies. Did you ever see American Pie? That fucking Jason Biggs did way worse than I did in that movie, and he got paid for it, and I didn't. So it's like,
well,
you know,
got paid kind of. You know, I mean, it would have been amazing if there was aromatherapy and oils. Like, I mean, it will still always be popular, but you know, if it had been a big production, was there ever any like, what the fuck did so here's the other theory around it is that Twitch was like had some in-depth conversations with you about it.
It wasn't on Twitch, you
position
retard.
has always been no fucking way. Twitch was like, yo, Phil, what the fuck? Blah, blah. My guess is it's been like totally generic.
Yeah, it was
but
YouTube. It wasn't on
was
Twitch
there any
because you
communication
fucking
at that time
talked
with
about
Twitch or anything
Watch
like that?
Mojo. He's
no,
like,
and here's a great answer. Rick, get ready for this
Twitch.
one.
It was on
This
YouTube.
is so hilarious to
fucking
debunk
retards.
all of it. I wasn't streaming on Twitch at the time. I was streaming on YouTube.
Oh,
Well,
There was a
wow,
yeah.
what an amazing
that I wasn't
interview.
streaming on Twitch because at one point Twitch
Wow.
had forced me to lower my bit rate, and
I
my
remember
peak
that was in the,
streams.
yeah,
Bro,
I remember
they
that.
Someone
asked
probably
you.
asked about that. They basically came into one of my
They
streams like a year before this had
asked
happened
you,
and
and
said,
you got
you're streaming
fucking
too high. I'm like,
ass-blasted.
dude, are you serious? Like other people are streaming way higher than me, and my quality, if you make me lower, is going to look terrible. So I had issue with that, and I had left Twitch for 2 years.
What a
and I
weird
was
thing to
streaming on
say.
YouTube.
You
How
read
early
about
was
it,
that? I
dude.
can't even imagine somebody saying anything like that nowadays.
That was late 2015. Fall of 2015, I was playing an Assassin's Creed game.
1 second, I
and
gotta
they
put
told
on
me to lower
Wi-Fi,
my
so
bit rate,
I'm
I
gonna
did,
cut
and
out
my
really
stream was
bad
like
here in
shit,
just a
and
second.
I'm outta here. And I left for 2 years. I didn't
can't
come
be as
back
bad as
until early
Connor, don't worry about
2017.
Huh.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. What, did Twitch say anything? No, Twitch wasn't involved. It happened
Yeah,
on
if
YouTube.
Karma
That's
joins
funny,
his
yeah.
chat, just
Okay.
ban
The
him.
thing is, on YouTube, I didn't auto-archive anything when
His
it came to
laptop's
fucking
red,
streams.
though,
So
so
there was
Jackal was
nothing.
saying
The
we
only
should
people who got
pause. You should
footage of this
fucking
were
hear
people who
Karma come
literally
and talk
stalk
to
me
us,
every
bro.
day, and they illegally record
So
my
for
streams
fuck
just
yeah.
in case something like this
Record my
happens.
My check
And
off.
boy, did they get their jackpot that day.
Wow,
right?
literally.
It went everywhere viral within minutes. It was everywhere all over the internet.
My
Oh.
crotch.
You know, for me, it's like then that's the thing. The
What?
slander.
I heard
Oh,
my
well, did
crotch.
Twitch ever say anything? YouTube didn't say
Yeah,
anything because
I
I never
heard my
uploaded
crotch.
it. After it was broadcast that
Sorry, I had a
first time, it never
bug
was live
crawling on
on
my
my
crotch
channel,
while I'm
so
getting
no
in my
evidence of
car.
anything that ever
Oh,
happened.
dude.
It was
What?
everyone else posting
Is
the
it one of those
content
creepy
that
giant
was
American venomous bugs?
propagating it, not me. So
No,
YouTube
it
never
was like some
contacted me,
little
but
beetle.
Cinema did contact me, and
Why?
because they were my partnership network at the time, they said, "Are you okay? Like, what's going on? Did you have like a big fallout?"
But
I was like,
I'm just to come from a not as
nothing
big of a
really happened.
detractor.
People
Like I'm
laughing
more
at
of
me.
a
I'm
wings
laughing
detractor
with
than
it.
anything
Yeah,
else.
I'm not
'Cause
denying it. I'm just kind of having a laugh
I
at
can
it.
understand why
And it seems
Jeremy
like it's
didn't
working
want to
out,
do
everything's
the
fine.
very
So after that,
hard-hitting
bothered me
questions at
about it
first.
again.
Does
YouTube
he
never
wants to
contacted me. I
have
wasn't on
DSP
Twitch, so
open up
nothing ever happened
and
in
be
regards
more
to it, which
of
is why it's
trusting of him?
ludicrous when you hear,
Then
I
he'll
think
want to go and do the more
I think
the more
that the whole-
calculated.
Million.
I think it was all
there was like
pre-prepared.
60
I don't
people
think that
on the
there was
pre-stream
like.
and no one was watching. 'cause
I think
the
they
I
last
imagine
answered all
he-
the questions.
so no one was even there. It was just
Yeah,
like,
I imagine
honest
he
people
ran the
just saying it
questions by
wasn't
him
some
first,
exhibition
just be
and
like, hey,
crazy stunt
is
that I
this
did over anything.
question okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, nowadays on Twitch, if a girl did
But
that,
I mean,
I'd
we're in the
assume it
last
was
10
a
minutes,
stunt,
and this has
but,
been the hardest question.
Who knows these
so-
days?
Yeah.
Look, you've been extremely generous with your time. Is there anything? First of all,
But I
I'll give
mean,
you
it's-
Generous? You gave him 10 tier subs.
and
You
your
fucking
Twitch
gave him
stream and
And
stuff
please
like
spell my
$50.
channel
What is
correctly
DSP being
on
generous
Twitch
about?
failed to do when they tried to promote me a couple weeks ago, and then they had to take it down, which was hilarious.
that. Yeah,
Oh,
I
I'm gonna
will.
drink
I'm not
this
Twitch.
soda that
Is there
has
anything
caffeine
you
in
know
it.
that you
Probably
would
die of a heart
want
attack.
a parting thought that you'd want to say to anybody?
What I would say is two things. The first is, out of all the negative stuff you've heard about me, some of it's probably true, and some of it is probably gross exaggeration. I openly admit that when I started, the first 3-4 years I did YouTube, I was a complete asshole. I made many mistakes back then. I fess up to the things that I said and did, and I wish that I hadn't done them, because I really feel now that I've become a more mature person over the years doing this. And now that I'm an interactive streamer and I actually have these direct interactions with people every day, I see that what I say and do actually affects people on a daily basis. And I didn't see that back when I was just uploading videos to the cloud on YouTube. I didn't have that live interaction. I didn't get to see that, and I thought it was just a joke. And I admit, I said
Honestly,
things
about
about game developers. I said things about
Start-
games and stuff that people still take me to task for to this day, as if it happened yesterday. I'm not like that
Start
anymore.
Ranklin's hand
And if anything,
gestures.
give a stream a shot. Come by a stream of
Yeah.
mine. Give it a look. If you like it, great. If not,
He
don't.
really
But
uses
don't
his hands a lot when
blanketly
trying to talk.
believe what people say about me, because sadly it's become kind of
I'll run your bitch ass over, dog.
Believe everything that's negatively said about DSP because he's the loud cow. He's the guy with so
Whoa,
much bad stuff that's happened in his history.
What?
All of it must be true.
Sorry,
When
it's
you
a
get
great
crazy
parody
things like
that
Phil
my
hired
neighbor
a,
like
escort
sometimes
just to
decides to
visit
keep
him
up
for
and
3
sometimes
months
just
one
lets
year,
run the
and in
street.
reality it was
And it
all
likes to run
fabricated. It was
right in
scammers
front
in
of my
Europe trying
car,
to
not
extort
run
me for
along
money
the.
behind the scenes. They had made
Like,
it all
I'm going
made
to
up.
run in
That's the
front
kind
of your
stuff that
car.
becomes
It's
like
not a tiny
fact
dog, it's a great
because
parody.
people
It's a
believe
big
everything.
motherfucker.
So don't. Take it all with a grain of salt. Some of it may be true, some of it not. Come check out my streams, right?
It's like, I'll
And the
hit
other
that
thing
fucking
is,
dog and y'all will pay for my insurance.
you know, understand that it's tough doing what we do for a living. You know what I mean? Like, we have a public face, and when I started doing this 10 years ago, there was zero track history of anyone else who had done it before. I had no one I could look at as someone who I could learn from and say, wow, they screwed up. Let me learn from those mistakes. I made tons of mistakes over the years.
But I'm super happy.
Who I could
Turns
look at their
21
history. Like,
this
people now
Saturday.
look at me and see all the stupid shit that I did.
Yeah,
over the
finally
years.
hit
Say,
that
"Don't
big
be
boy
like
age of
Darkseid,
finally
don't
being
be
able to
like
drink.
right? And I admit, you're right. I am like,
Oh yeah, in
you
America,
watch
of
my
course,
11-year
you can
history
do
and
like
don't do
everything,
half the stuff
can't
he
you,
did because
before
look at
you
what
can
happened
actually
to him.
drink, get
But
married, join the
please
army.
understand that I am
You
an
can't
evolving
drink.
human, and I feel that I really have honestly tried to change for the better over the years. And the fact that people think that things on the internet are black and white
And in my
and last
state, they
forever,
decided to
and
raise the
don't
legal
change,
smoking
is really
age to
messed up.
21 as
You know,
well.
Yeah,
just
same
look
here.
at, like we talk
21
about
to
cancel culture and all of that. Comedians say something
Yep.
10 years ago on
So you
Twitter,
can go
and
die
now
in
they
your
can't even
country
do a
before
stand-up
you can
comedy act
legally
because
smoke.
people hate them for something they did 10 years ago. That's how it is a lot of the times with me. And it's like, I don't know how you fix that. How can I change now and make people believe that I'm different than who I was 10 years ago? I don't know how. All I can do is try to honestly put out the best content I can on a daily basis.
Texas is
and
full
not
of a bunch
remake those
of
mistakes that I did,
Bible-thumping motherfuckers
way back
who
when. So
would
if you just give me a
do
shot,
anything
maybe you'll
to
like it.
just
If you don't, who
restrict
cares?
your
Don't
shit
ever
as
come
much as
back.
possible.
Go jump back on the lolcow,
They're
train
like
and
full
laugh
circle
at it. I don't
liberals.
care. Do all that. Just please understand that what you say and do on this planet has repercussions, concrete repercussions to people. And I and my family have had things happen to me because of the nasty stuff that people have said about me.
I'm surprised that
things happen to me.
Forget the stuff that's true.
This fucking
I don't
guy,
care
he
about
only
the
cares about
masturbation thing.
himself.
Go ahead and joke about it till the cows come home.
DSP?
But when you call me a scammer, when you say that I lied to the IRS about my
Honestly,
taxes,
I'm
never done. When you do horrible things behind the scenes.
I'm honestly just
to my
surprised that
family,
he even went on for the interview to begin
really
with.
messed
Yeah,
up.
that's
Yeah, I
I
figured
can.
he was
I was
remarkable. You say to me
shocked
every day,
when
how do you
this
keep
like
doing what you're
fucking
doing?
got.
I don't know. I just must have like
This,
the thickest
Like, I
skin for some of the
expected-
stuff that people say
I
to me on a
expected
daily
Gundam
basis.
to get
I
an
know
interview
people would have
before
given up a million years
him.
ago. But I love what I do for a living.
It would have been
I
better.
don't want to give up on the fans who I've been here for a very long
I
time.
would agree.
A lot
It
of
would have
people
been better
stuck
if
with
it was
me over the years. Very,
He wouldn't,
very
he wouldn't
loyal
go
fans.
anywhere near
And
Gundam. He's only
just please
see why he's
understand what you say and do
he's a fucking
has repercussions.
Milk
Don't be like
toast,
me 10
faggot.
years ago, where I would just say and do anything on a video or a stream just to get shock. It's not worth it if you're going to actually hurt people to get a laugh or a jolly, or to get yourself over, to get you cheap views and money on YouTube.
So was there like
Please be more conscious of what
any
you do, because
funny
it does have
moments in that entire like almost
consequences
2-hour
for the people
interview?
who you are
No,
doing
not really.
that
No.
to.
Yeah,
Really?
Well, that's good
Nothing.
advice, I think, in general. And
So is
Not
it
even
even
talking
one?
about gout
Phil,
for
I've
a minute.
never had any interactions with you before.
Oh yeah, when
I know
Corcoran said
there'll
his
be people
toe
that
swelled up to the size of an
comment
elephant.
on
That
this
was
video
quite
that
funny.
Oh,
Jeremy,
yeah,
I
saying
found
that
it
if your
because
doctor's
you
good,
didn't
he'll give
call
you
him
a
out
pain
on
meds.
this,
Yeah.
or comment on that. And I said to you up front that, and I'll probably put a bumper on this video that tries to like explain that. That was.
I do think it's funny though that he did at Count Dankula regarding where the load went.
Particular.
Has he even asked that yet? Or is that
Yeah,
like
no,
for
he
the
asked
interview?
it.
Very
That was
first
when he was
question.
talking
Yeah.
about.
What I'd hope to do is get to know you.
So what was the
and
answer
let
to
people
this?
also.
Oh,
When he
we're
was
echoing
talking
in
about
your
the
microphone.
question,
So
yeah.
really loud.
Everything you said, hey,
Yeah, I
we
know.
talked up before this. You said, look, I'll talk.
So I'm
about
holding
that,
it up to my
or I won't,
chest. That's
you know,
why.
I won't talk about this or that, but I'll talk about whatever. And we met in the middle.
I'm trying to drive.
Questions.
And that's
um,
fine. I'll turn push
I
to
mean,
talk on.
I
I'm
hope
mostly
that
just
people
gonna listen.
watching us were entertained.
That's
I
cool, bro.
definitely.
It's
had a
over in
good
2
time.
minutes, so probably.
I enjoyed talking with you as well.
Okay.
Like I said,
Oh,
if
you're
you
gonna-
wanted to
you're
do
gonna
this,
close
that
the
was
room
another
down.
question.
Yeah,
Why now?
yeah.
Why would I do this was
You're
particularly with
fine.
you? Because you actually did a fair video about
okay.
it. You made fun of me in it, and
Yeah.
fair enough. But
Yeah.
you were fair and honest, and you actually defended me when these media was coming out of nowhere trying to cancel me, which is hilarious. Like that's ever gonna work. The shit I've been through. You think you could really cancel me? You're out of your mind. But you were so honest with Jeremy, and I was like, this seems like a down-to-earth guy that I could have a conversation with. Unlike a lot of the other people over the years who tried to get me on their shows for shock factor, or they want to get you questions. Get them with the get you question. And now you got that.
So did they allude to
I didn't get that vibe from
like
you
indirectly, or
just
not?
Not at all. The only thing he said was like his weird, detractors.
I know you streamed tonight.
That's
you didn't name anyone.
I'm every day. I only get 1 day a week off.
Oh, all right. Well, okay. Well, then you'll be working tomorrow. This will come out in the afternoon.
Well, it doesn't even seem like that video's worth a watch.
It's earlier for you
honestly,
than a little after 1 now, but thanks.
I mean, unless
so
I
much,
just
Phil.
want to listen to someone ramble on for an hour and 45.
Thanks so much for watching this video, and I really hope
that's it.
you
Holy
love
shit.
You'll find some links to watch more videos, as well as a nice big button to subscribe, which I hope you do. If you did enjoy it, make sure before you go that you leave a like and a comment on the
I
video.
fucking wasted 2 hours on that.
The #1 reason this channel continues to grow, and I appreciate it.
Well, that was fun.
Yeah. We'll probably do something in the future. I don't know. Maybe.
For sure. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so you came in right at the end, Jake. But you didn't really miss much, to be honest.
Good to know. You know what would probably be really funny to watch is if the quartering did a Winks interview.
I'm gonna go ahead and kill the stream.
A Wings interview? Yeah, he said that in his status. He was like, who's